that you can talk about.
No. Well, you know what's funny? I would say the parents, like going back to those parents. I remember we were in, I think it was me and David Yost. We were in, I know. David Yost and I were in Phoenix or somewhere. I forget. We were promoting the movie, and we literally had a table like this. People were coming out signing autographs, and they didn't schedule enough time. Like we were there for maybe like 3 hours. And there was a line. I mean, there was a ton of people. So after 3 hours, we had to leave. Like, we had no choice in it. We were like, let's just stay another hour. And so literally, there were little kids there. We're like, we're so sorry. We'll, sign more pictures and we'll bring them to the store. You can pick them up or whatever. I mean, I literally saw moms running, jumping off over little kids. Like, they didn't care. Like, they would do anything to get their kid a picture. We're like, no. Little kids are getting smashed. People are crying. We're like, it was bad. It was bad. And I was like, at that moment, I just realized, wow, you probably will do anything for your kid, but look what you're doing. Look what you're doing. It's like, this is ridiculous. So that to me was weird. But the kids were always great. They'd either laugh or they'd either be like so happy to see you, or you'd say hi to them and you'd start crying because they just didn't, like they're like, you're real? Like it was just like, the reaction from kids was great. Like it was priceless.
And then like how they like hide behind, how you guys like hide behind your mom.
Yeah, it was like,
like that.
I mean, I've seen plenty of kids, like, they go from being happy, and then you walk up to them, it's like Chuck E. Cheese walks up to a kid, and we're like, it's like one of two ways it's going to go. But, that was fun.
I used to get a lot of letters from prisons.
Yes!
Oh.
Jail. The jail mail.
Yeah, jail mail. That was interesting.
Yeah, I got a lot of letters from prison too.
I like you more Power Rangers.
When the rights shifted back to Saban from Disney, did you guys have any ideas that the series would end with the way Disney was running it as of late, or did you think it would still keep going when the rights shifted back?
We had no clue. Yeah. We're out the loop. They're like, y'all old school kids. We're out the loop. Yeah. But I'm glad for everyone. I mean, like I said, I have little nephews, so for them, I'm glad it's still on because they're really into it. So.
First off, sorry we went to the wrong room. We would have been here earlier. My GPS is acting up in my suit. But I was going to ask you guys, of all the different, if you remember all the different Zords you guys had, or like little animals or anything, if you could have exchanged, like if you didn't like your Zord or anything, which would you exchange, like in any of them, like any of the incarnations?
I think the Mastodon was really cool. I liked my Power Axe, that was all cool, but I wanted to be Tyrannosaurus.
Yeah.
It's just a better name to say Tyrannosaurus!
But you're the Mastodon.
Hey, actually, you know what? You guys can clear up a question for us because we were at lunch earlier and we couldn't remember what the second Zord was in the season.
Thunder Megazords. Thunder Zords.
Right, but what was the Mastodon's second?
Lion. Yeah.
Mastodon, Lion, Thunder Zord. Okay.
Yeah.
That's right.
I only said that a few times.
Stop it.
Griffith Thunderstorm, yeah. I like them all. I wouldn't change. I mean, it was just classic. Yeah, it was weird how it just made sense for each person. It would be the right thing. I never understood the whole Zord.
I didn't really like the ape Zord that much, really, to be honest. I
Oh.
go from like a T-Rex to a red dragon to a ape. I don't know. It didn't vibe with me, but you got to go with the Japanese show, whatever the Japanese made, we have to follow suit.
Right. Yeah.
I should have brought my Morphicon.
Oh, thanks.
If you're going to do it, you might as well get up and say your sign.
I don't remember the hand movements either. I don't know. Morphin time. That's all right.
Griffin Thunderstorms. Entire Griffin Thunderstorm power.
As a Red Ranger would do.
God, we all got along.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got along good, but like sometimes like I was ready to go home, you know?
Yeah. It was
See you guys
hard
tomorrow.
work. It was a lot of work. I mean, there were times where it was just like, I mean, I remember working like an entire year and making only a month off in a year. And that's like, you might have had a weekend, and sometimes we didn't have weekends, we had one day on a Sunday.
Yeah, for a while we were shooting 7 days a week.
Yeah, so it was so hard, and like, you know, being young, we just came, Steve and I and John were all from Texas. I mean, we literally auditioned for the part, 4 days later we were living in Los Angeles. Like, our life changed in 4 days, and I mean, it's your family, and they had to come see you, they couldn't just go, like, I missed my sister's wedding, you know, because we had to shoot PSA, and we had, I mean, it was like,
Yeah, they mailed us our clothes because we couldn't even go back to go get them.
Yeah.
Right away.
we got the part, and they were like, hey, so you're gonna start filming on Monday, call your parents, tell them to FedEx your clothes, and we're like, so yeah.
Yeah, they put your car like on a train. Right?
I put all my stuff in there.
But was it worth it, you guys?
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Would anybody else take it too? Of course.
Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, it was absolutely.
Yeah.
At the last Morphicon, it was great to say that his character comes from Morphin as a middle personality. You say that's his character?
They definitely wrote, like, tailored the storylines, like, for Walter's dancing, so they kind of tailored it to that. And I was a dancer and a singer, so was Karen, so they kind of infiltrated that into the characters and everything. And I would say my character is similar to me.
Yeah, Aisha was really positive. So yeah, I mean, it's. I think we were so young that back then you're not like this. You know, you're just not like this taught actor. Like we weren't seasoned professionals, so we just did what we would have done if it were us. Like that's how I kind of was like, well, what would be? You know, I remember they would always say, do what you feel is true or what you feel is honest. So you did what you would do. So I think that's.
I don't know if they meant to, but they made the character sort of like I was, like my background. Like I don't know if you know Rocky's character. Like he had like 6 brothers and sisters or whatever. I had 6 brothers and sisters. You know, a single parent. You know that whole kind of thing. So it was very strange in that regard. I don't know how they figured that stuff out. No, I don't even think that they meant to do that. I think they just, you know. So in that regard, they kind of didn't match my actual background.
Yeah.
Just one more question. If they were doing a like normal Power Rangers every single season, generation got together, would you guys be a part of it?
Make a Power Ranger.
Yeah, if everybody came back, I'd do that.
It would have to be union for me to do it. But
Absolutely.
Very true.
I've been working in the union as
Yeah.
We would get
for
fined too if we did.
16 years, so I could not do that, but I would love to be.
I
If
know.
they did a union, I'd be like, I'm there. I'm still there. Love it.
Yes.
Of all the ones that were released, like let's just say from Mighty Morphin, keep it simple. What's your favorite Power Rangers toy? Like of all the ones that were released, do you guys have?
We didn't have any. I didn't have any toys.
We luckily for us, like we got to meet all of you, and people would give me toys. Because we didn't get any back then. You know?
Aw.
We had to go buy them. We were like, we're buying our own toys. I know. You know, and we were like, what? So, but luckily for me, I had a Barbie doll, like a little Barbie doll dress, and it was cute. And I got all of those for like my sisters and my mom. So I guess that's the one that was like, it actually, you know. It didn't know it didn't know.
The flip top head is very cool.
Yeah.
Woo! I got that. Woo!
And the other toy that's cool was the actual MMPR gun, the one that was also the knife.
Yeah, I got that too. Still play with it.
I like the Megazord. I mean, the whole Megazord, I thought that was really, really cool. I never owned one, but
Aww.
I thought it was a very cool toy. I was like, man, that seems like it would be a lot of fun. But I refused to buy it because I was like, it's toy.
They remind me of Voltron.
Yeah.
Voltron, Transformers.
Oh no, this guy, he had a question.
For all of you, what was it like filming the first movie and then the second?
Walter, what was it like filming?
Oh.
I can't recall.
me, well, I don't even judge the first one. It was great. I mean, like I said, our life changed in 4 days. So we were on the show maybe like, we worked for about a month and a half, and then we're in Australia. And so that was like a huge dream to go there, you know, and we were supposed to be there 3 months, we were there for 6 months. And we just had a lot of fun. I mean, when you're young, you're exhausted, and you're just like, whatever, we just started acting real big things. We're having a lot of fun. And luckily for us, like I said, we all got along, so we just had a good time.
The second movie was on a much lower budget than the first movie. So it was a lot of work. We worked really, really long days, and I think we shot the whole movie in 4 weeks or something crazy like that. It was very quick. Might have been a bit longer, but and it was very low budget. There was days we didn't have a trailer. Jason and I had to change the car.
Oh.
It was interesting, but you know what? It was an amazing experience. It was my first feature film, and I had a great time and made the most of it. Didn't really know any better until I did stuff later, and was like, oh wow, this is how it's supposed to be.
You get fed?
That's amazing! Wow.
They get you a professional right here.
Yeah, I remember I was a small part of the movie, and they were so grateful, and they sent me flowers. I'm like, they sent me flowers. It's
Aw.
so nice. And so I was like, yeah, move on, get someone else. So, yeah.
With all of you, guys, whenever it came down to a long waiting time, have you guys ever
I'm going to do it with my kids next year, actually, because they're just starting to be aware of it. I think that'd be fun.
I don't know. I can't ever bring myself to do that. You know, I mean, there's like so many other cool costumes out there. I don't know.
How funny would that be, though, showing up at someone's house and you take them home and like, oh, wow, this is great.
It could be fun. I guess I always thought it would scream desperation a little bit. Please remember me.
We'll always remember you guys.
What's funny is they used to make us wear that costume every day. So we were like anti-costume. Like at one point, we were promoting to the movie, they wanted us to do the Today Show with the costume on. We were like, we won't do it if we have to. And finally, they let us go on. I just was like, I can't imagine sitting with Kate or her. And we're like, in the costume. Today Show. So we got like, so I think, yeah, I don't know if I can.
We always think we're the color.
Yeah.
It took me years to work again.
I think we're yellow.
Yes.
What was your favorite moment from back in the day from my movie Power Ranger? Favorite scene?
From before the show, or
Yeah, back when Walter Jones was Black Ranger. What was your favorite moment?
You know what? I had a lot of fun doing all the fight scenes. That was so fun to me. I mean, and as the show progressed and as it got, you know, like towards the end, I was really finding my rhythm, and it was like I no longer, the stunt coordinator could no longer tell me what to do because I was like now choreographing my own fights. I was like, okay, I want 2 buddies come here. We're focusing with this guy. I'm gonna take this guy can hit me, and we'll do this one. I'll do this one, but then you know, and I hit somebody. And, I just had a lot of fun being really creative with that, like in the vein of Jackie Chan and that kind of way. Fighting on the swings or the picnic tables or jumping across stuff. I did one fight, and you don't see it real well, but I was so proud of it because we were fighting in the park, and I had a putty chasing me, and I run and I do a dive through the chains of a swing, through the chains, I front flip over the putty, standing over the ducks. I dive through the chains, do a flip, land, kick him, and fall into the swing, and I switch it everything. And it was like, that was a pretty intense stunt, and I was so proud that I'd done it. And when I saw it on TV, I was like, you can't even tell the difference.
Aww.
It ain't covered right. But it was a lot of fun.
yeah, like that was the thing that I liked too. The choreography fights. I've been doing martial arts for 25 years, you know, and gymnastics for a long time too. I think so. You know, I love like putting that together. You know, they let us choreograph our own scenes, which is really cool. But I just really hated it when they scaled it back. You know? Like for example, like you guys got ripped off in Power Rangers 1 movie because in the amount of fight scene that we did is like twice as long as what you guys saw in the movie. Like there was so much more cool stuff that we did, and they cut it like all out because you know they were still thought it was too violent, you know, even for the movie. You know, like the TV is one thing, but the movie is like. And like we were kicking buddies in the head, their heads were exploding.
Whoa.
The ooze guys were, right?
Yeah.
And you know, like there was one scene where the two guys that kicked the guys get together, you know, like before that there was an actual splat. And his head like exploded and like we went all over the guy's legs, you know. It was really cool. Like this, you know.
That's the thing, like a lot of stuff you didn't see because they were like, oh, it's too violent, kids are beating each other up, and you know.
And you were. You guys are watching TV show.
Yeah. It stopped us from fighting. Like you noticed at one point we didn't do any civilian fights anymore.
Yeah,
because of that.
they changed. Yeah, exactly. And they changed like even back when they changed like before it was Boozman, they had like these giant like sewer rights that were going to be like Ivan Ooze's like creatures that were going to come after them.
Although they did use it, they used those rats in the episode when that we shot in Australia. When I think it was the White Ranger against the Green Ranger. Remember the rats?
Yeah.
Going back in time. Those were the original.
Those were the rats. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
In
that's
the very beginning of the show, we did a lot of head hits, and that made the fight choreography a lot more exciting. Because you duck in and you hit the hit, and see the hit snap, like that kind of stuff was really cool. And then, people were complaining about it being too violent, so then we had to cut back and we could only do body. And that was, that was cool. I mean, we worked it out. But then, like, the putty started, they changed, so like you had to kick them in the chest and they would disappear. So the fights became a little more limited there because it's like, okay, you can only hit one target,
Yeah, but as a parent, I think that was a good choice.
Well, I would tell parents, like when they talked about the violence, I would say, well, what you should do is take your child and put them in a martial art class because that's what I did. That's what happened with me, and it gave me a lot of self-restraint, self-control, and self-discipline. Because you learn in a martial art class that you don't want to hurt anybody else. You don't want to hurt them, and you have to have control. And control is a big key. I mean, kids fighting with control wouldn't hurt themselves. But thinking that they're invincible is what. That's not good.
I sprained my ankle.
Like bruises and stuff, or you accidentally kick somebody, or they accidentally hit you. Like I think in my fight scene in the movie, I accidentally kicked someone in the face, and I mean,
I actually hurt one of the stunt guys too.
The stunt guys got hurt. We did. Like, they were real careful. They were professionals, and we were like, ah!
Jason Frank smashed his whole face into the tree one time.
Oh.
He hurt himself. He was it wasn't even part of the movie. He was just goofing around, running up the tree, doing a flip off of it, and he like did it too close, and his whole face went against the tree.
Oh.
Yeah, Johnny was supposed to spot him. He said Johnny was supposed to spot him. Johnny was like, but like, the thing about that, if you notice, like on the, I think he did it on purpose because he couldn't rollerblade really well. So the rollerblade scene, he's in the back, always in the back, because he was like kind of wobbling on the rollerblade. He hurt himself.
Funny if they showed up. Yeah. Make him look bad. Just kidding.
Yes, I know you guys did all the fight scenes in the civilian, but whenever the problems were warped into the costumes, did you guys change the costume during the fight scenes?
Not generally. Sometimes though, they did have us do some stuff when it was the ninjetti movie because you could see our eyes too much, so they didn't have. Sometimes they didn't have the stunt guys do that. We would do our fight scenes for that. But if it was ever with the helmets on, they would have the stunt guys do it for a lot of reasons. One, because we just couldn't take a chance on us getting hurt, but also because they could film two things at the same time. We could be working on one scene and they could be working on another scene, and do a lot more production than that way.
Yeah, it's all.
And you got to commend the stunt guys because all the stuff they did in those helmets. The helmets are like this. You lose your peripheral vision, so you can't really see what's here or here. It's just.
They
was just.
This, and they're doing everything they would do. It's
I couldn't do
They did
half
great
the
job.
stuff that those guys could do.
They're amazing.
You
Yeah.
know, so it would have been
Yeah.
really weird.
And it was claustrophobic. Like I've never put on a helmet that was like just I don't know. It just like freaked me out.
it's hot outside.
It's hot. It was always like 1,000,000 degrees. Yeah.
Yeah, and the helmets fog up, so you're like you start breathing, and it's just like
Yeah.
there's the windshield wiper.
It's like sweaty and stinky.
Those guys, the commander with the ghillie suit.
Yeah.
What was the funniest movie that happened here on set?
Bloopers, oh, yes.
They used to show the bloopers at the end of the show.
Yeah, they did.
For me, I guess mine was when we were shooting the jumping out of the plane scene for the movie. They all got to do theirs, and then I'm the one after dinner. And so I had to like flip, and then, and then flip. And so I'm like, how high is that? Like, way, I don't know, like 50 feet in the air. And I flipped, did it, flipped, and then I was like, everything. And then they're like, I was up there, so they couldn't take me down. So I'm like going up in a bucket. Jason Frank and they were taking pictures. It was wrong.
I forgot about
Those pictures are somewhere.
This question for Walter. I saw on a panel on YouTube they did this one story about I guess you were playing around and you had a fake finger. You can tell that story.
A lot of people probably already know this, my left hand. And one day the costume girl she was like, let's play a joke because they had a mannequin that was painted black in the dressing room, in the costume mannequin. So they broke the finger off, and she was like, let's play this joke. So we were doing it's Morphin time, right? So I put the finger between my fingers, and I was like, we did it one time. I was like, it's Morphin time. And then we were about to do it again, and she went, cut, and everybody like, what's wrong? She was like, I gotta go fix something. She walks over, and she grabs the finger, and she goes, okay, we're ready. And everybody's like, oh, so we're ready. It's pretty funny though. I was in on it, so. Yes.
All right, Power Rangers and Ninja Turtles.
Power Rangers and then who's gonna win?
No, how was that episode?
Oh, I wasn't there.
Oh, that was like later on.
Oh, bus space.
I had this Power Rangers guy on.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, everyone was
They're
good.
back, Nickelodeon is doing an animated version of Ninja Turtles. I think they're bringing it back, yes.
I often get called a Ninja Turtle. People that don't know Power Rangers are like, yeah, this is a Ninja Turtle. I'm like, I am not a Ninja Turtle.
Oh, I also transferred my money.
I just transferred money.
Why do you cut out this early turtle when you straight move on with this?
No, it was my choice. I was ready to move on at that point, and they said, well, how do you feel about like just doing part of the movie so we can introduce a new character? At that point, I was like, they were going to replace me with that kid, but I thought it was fine. I actually thought it was a cool concept at the time. That was fine.
This one's for Walter.
Yes.
What do you think of the reversioning Disney did of Mighty Morphin season?
I thought it was pretty interesting.
Bam,
the
wham.
doings and the pow and
Yeah.
that stuff reminded me of Batman.
Yeah.
That's kind of weird. I thought it was colorful, and maybe I like the old version better.
Yeah.
But I thought it was like a nice revamp to maybe, appeal to the kids nowadays to get stuff there about their visuals. It was alright.
Well, going back to the question about these characters kind of moving on.
Wrong side.
Did you guys kind of have any kind of tentative kind of contracts knowing how long you're going to stay on the show, or was it kind of like, well, until you decide kind of place?
They had, with my contract, it was a probationary period. And then once they kind of saw that I was accepted or not accepted. I'd have been shipped back.
No.
But yeah, and then they had it set up so they would kind of sign you for several years. You know, for several years for, you know, and they would up your pay slightly each year. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a year
Very
contract.
minuscule amount.
You guys probably make more money.
Oh.
You got a question in the back?
Yeah. While you're finding what Power Rangers development season, you work on more inspection. Alongside, one, you also work on sister ship, VR Troopers,
Yes.
Rider, and the Big Bad Beetle Wars.
Yep.
Talent season.
Don't forget Sweet Valley High too. That was my favorite show.
I know that there was this one Master Rider. Did you interact with any of the actors in your sister shows?
Yeah, we go over there on lunch.
Yeah, they film right next door to us. They were all in the same stages, so we would go over there and hang out with them, and they'd come over and hang out with us.
Yeah, I know all of them.
I never made out with anybody.
He bases everything on how good a kiss is someone.
Oh.
It's a good thing.
We only have 6 minutes, so any more questions? Yeah.
What was your guys' most memorable moment at Power Morphicon this year?
Yeah.
You.
Oh.
He's come to like all of our shows. Like,
Everything.
Yeah, he's
We
dedicated.
see him all the time. It was meeting the fans for me, because I mean, it blows my mind that this, I mean, I remember Pete calling me saying, hey, I'm going to this convention, you should come with me, and I was like, what? And then he was like, yeah, and I know they probably won't even remember who I am. And he was like, no, come, it's great. I went to one, and it was like, it was a great experience, you should come. And he went to Chicago, and it blew my mind that it was this, you know, for everyone, and it was just, and then I had I mean, even after
I think so.
I was like, I was just blown away by it, and my boyfriend was like, think about when you were a kid, like, whatever it was that excited you when you were a kid, that means the most, and I was like, and I got it, that moment I got it, and I was like, wow, okay, I didn't realize that was after a lot of people, so,
There was a guy
phenomenal.
who had a tattoo of the Power Rangers on him, which it was very kind of extreme, but when he came up and talked to us personally, he was saying how he had a really hard childhood, and he was, you know, abused and all kinds of stuff, and the show got him through that difficult time. And when we heard that story over and over and over, people just...
Different versions.
Yeah, and it was just really touching to know that you've affected people like that, and that, you know, it's much bigger than you expect it to be, you know.
Yeah.
And I said like it had the Red Ranger tattooed on his leg. That was cool.
And he had us all sign his arm so we could get our signatures in tattoo. I mean, I know it sounds cool, but he was just,
When you heard the backstory, it was like, whoa, like, I mean, I know childhoods are rough and everybody goes through different things, and we never had a clue that this show meant so much until now. Like, I mean, even when you're back then, you don't get it, you know, until you actually now, 15 years later, you're like, wow. Thank you.
I thought the thing about it was the fact that there were so many dedicated fans to just that particular art, particular show. It was like, wow, people that are here are really here for us, you know, and as compared to like, this is great, it's an anime convention, and everybody's here, and then we are part of the anime convention. You guys didn't come just for us, but some of you did, but a lot of people came for a lot of other things, but to be focused, and that was pretty brilliant. It was very cool.
Yeah, Scott's somewhere around here. He made that all possible, so.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
We're doing another one in 2 years, I think.
Yeah.
You have a question?
Next one.
Mine too, Walter. Mine too. Make sure you give me a hug before I get out of here. Oh yeah. I mean, you know, just stupid stuff. You know, like pinching people, knocking people over when they're trying to say their lines, laughing, and playing jokes, and
Making faces while they're looking
farting.
on camera.
You know, like, okay, here you go, so you're not stupid stuff. But we had fun. We had a good time. We were we were pretty close cast. And yeah, it was a good day.
Didn't Vulcan's go take all the furniture out of your dressing room? She came back from the set and all her whole dressing room was empty.
They hid on my furniture. Crazy.
That's funny.
Oh, hey, first off, I want to say, with the Power Morphicon thing, you guys were amazing to meet, and I met all you guys, and you guys were so awesome. And my question has to go with what I said to you guys at Power Morphicon. You guys don't look a day older than you were on the show. Do you have any tips on looking good any secrets or I know I'm in my I was doing karate because of you guys back in the 90s. And do you think it's too old to be in my late 20s now and stuff like that?
Not at all. Not even close.
I just want to look good like you guys, you know.
I would say one of the keys to looking young or to being young is to always look at life cup half full.
Mm-hmm.
You know, to count your blessings. Because if you do that and realize that every day somebody is enduring something that's 8 times worse than what you could ever be enduring at the moment, then you count your blessings and be happy for what you have at the moment. Live into that.
Excellent.
Every time you start thinking about what you don't have, that's just more stress that you add to your life, and that's what really gets people is stress. So,
Yeah.
don't add any more stress to your life than already exists. By thinking about all the stuff that you don't have.
Yeah, stay positive.
This is a quick way to go.
This guy right here in the black jacket, he's been wanting to ask a question.
Well, we're just going to answer it. I was going to ask, besides yourselves, who's your favorite Power Ranger?
I love tweets. I mean, those are huge shoes to fill. So. I honestly don't think that the Yellow Ranger, she set it off. It wouldn't have been, I think the Yellow Ranger had, sassy, she was tough, she had all these things, she started it off. So.
I would have to say that my favorite Power Ranger was probably Tommy. The Green Ranger. And not only because he was a good fighter and everything, but his story was awesome.
The storyline.
The Green Ranger, the White Ranger, he was the Red Ranger. Come on, man. He had the best written story of all the Rangers, and so he was cool.
Yeah, mine was Rocky. That was my favorite character. Because I felt like he reached out the most. He tried the hardest. He got the most chicks too. He got a blind girlfriend. I respect that.
I liked all of them for different reasons. I think the originals it was special because they were the first and you had very defined characters. I think after that they just the writing wasn't as good.
I think after we left, the Saban wanted to make sure that the actors had no power anymore, so they just concentrated on the costume.
Yeah, it was. I think the originals are really, from what I saw, were the best. Yeah.
I came in here extremely late, so I'm sorry if anybody's already had to do this, but for Steve, Karen, and Catherine, can you do the morphing sequence for Ninja?
For what?
For when you morph into the Ninja Rangers. If you remember that.
Show it.
Like this. It's like the Ninja.
No, you want
I'll demonstrate it if you need something.
Demonstrate it.
All right, I'm extremely terrible lessons, guys. All right, buddy.
Hey, bring him up to the panel right
Yeah.
Somebody dropped their iPhone on you?
Oh, that's mine. Bear with me, everybody, all right? Ninja Ranger power now!
Nice.
How can we follow that? I think that we wouldn't do it justice.
You have 2 minutes.
Somebody ask a question.
Yes.
Can I get a picture of you all together?
Yeah. Why don't we wait and see if there's any other questions?
And then we'll stand here and take pictures. Yeah.
There's a lot.
I'm Probably. Yeah, the thing about it, we came on every day, we couldn't keep up. And it got so popular, and it was like, we couldn't keep up. And the movie really threw a wrench in things. We were only supposed to be there 3 months, we were there 6 months, so it was like, the show kind of suffered over that. Yes. I think this has to be the last question. We're getting signals of that.
Yeah, let's do the last
Gotta
question.
sign autographs.
Was having any sort of martial arts background one of the qualifications that they look for when you guys were casting the roles?
Absolutely.
Yeah?
Well, not for the girls. In the original cast, they wanted everybody to have some martial. The audition called for everybody to do the acting scene, to do some martial arts, and also do some gymnastics. And the original in my cast.
We do have to do a in my audition, I had to do a martial arts scene, but that was kind of I mean, I had my friend who's a martial artist show me, and I was a dancer, so I could kick high, and then I just fluffed it. But once I got onto the set, that's when we had training in those shows.
Yeah, our cast, you had to be a dancer, a gymnast, or martial arts. So
Yeah,
if you're one of the three, you could
if
audition.
you knew how to do one of those things, they would consider it.
And we were all smart. I mean, they had amazing martial arts. I was actually, we went by ourselves, and they kind of they grew up like their own team. So I got to see them do their, fight, audition scene. They're amazing. And I was a dancer, and I just grew up with kids in there and martial arts standards. So, it
I don't know exactly where we're going right now, but we're going to sign autographs, so if you guys want to get pictures